What is up, guys, and welcome to yet another tier list video. I'm your host, BC King, and we are doing yet another Mario Kart Nitro track ranking. This time we are ranking every Nitro track from the beloved slash kind of divisive Mario Kart Wii. A lot of good ones in here, so let's get right into it. So to start, of course, we have the game's first circuit track being Luigi Circuit. This one to me, similar to other circuit tracks, is just fine. It's nothing really to write home about or be excited for. It's just a really basic-y circuit track to help you understand the game and how it works. So this one's gonna be just a basic C tier. Not a bad track, but not a memorable track. I do love the statues of Luigi hanging around. That last section with the speed boost is cool. But besides that, this track just kinda doesn't really have much to offer. Again, it's not a bad track. It functions just fine. Nothing's really that bad about it. But, you know, I think we'd all agree that most circuit tracks in Mario Kart, at least the starting ones, are more on the basic side. I mean, some circuit tracks do go out there to stand out a bit more than other ones, but this one is one of those that definitely just screams like, you know, basic AF and nothing really to, you know, love that much. But it's a okay circuit track. So we're gonna start with Luigi Circuit being a solid C tier. Man, the remake for Moo Moo Meadows in Mario Kart 8 is stunning. Like, if I took this track and the remake, it's like a night and day difference. But we're not ranking the 8 version, unfortunately. We're ranking the original Wii version of Moo Moo Meadows. And honestly, similar to Luigi Circuit, it's just fine. But I do think the setting and the overall structure of the track is a bit more interesting. And, I think that just barely puts it in like a low B tier for me. Not a great track, but I think it's a lot better than Circuit for, you know, the track layout and the music and the course elements. Like you got the mole digging on the ground, or sorry, digging in the ground, which you can trick off of. A lot of hills to trick off of as well. The shortcuts are pretty frequent in this one too. I think this track has a lot of shortcuts from what I hear. But besides that, it's a good track, not a great track, but music slaps, I would say. It's a very good piece of music. Track layout's good. Love the cows. Obviously, we all love cows. Unless you're not vegan, I guess. I don't know. We're not gonna go there anyway. But, yeah, Moo Moo Meadows is a very solid cow-themed track, so B for me. I've seen some opinions on this one. We got Mushroom Gorge. I've always loved it, but a lot of people seem to not like how this track works with the bouncing mushrooms. I've never hated it. I think if you're using motion controls, then maybe, because you might have a harder time turning in the air when you're jumping and having to control your vehicle. For me, it didn't really, I had no issue with it. This track is fantastic. It's got a great sound, it has great music. And I love the bouncing mushrooms. I've never had a problem with them. I love the cave layout with the, you got the, like, group of mushrooms. You can just, choose which path, you can choose which path you go to. Sevens adds a ramp, or a gliding ramp, but we can't rank that one, obviously, because we're not counting that. But yeah, again, I can see the opinions on this being a bit more divisive because of, you know, whether you enjoy the track layout and the bouncing mushrooms, and if you're using motion controls, possibly. But for me, I've never hated this track. I've always loved it. So, not quite S tier, but for its creativity and music and track layout, it's a solid A for me. Because, again, I will say right now, there is like at least 5 S tier tracks on this list. At least 5, maybe 6. But Mushroom Gorge just is not quite there for me for S tier, but still a very good track and well worthy of being an A tier. Speaking of the S tier, ladies and gentlemen, we have the first track at S tier on this list. The one track I am still waiting for a remake for, Toad's Factory. I love this track to death. I love the music, one of the best songs in the game. The layout is fantastic, the conveyor belts. Just the general location of the track is so interesting because you wouldn't think a factory would be that interesting because real life ones aren't interesting, but this one, man, they did wonders with this one. Like every part of the track is fun. Like you got the starting portion going through the tunnel with the conveyor belt, you got the little stamp things that try to stamp down on you. You got the little things that go back and forth with the boxes. You've got this section right here in the picture with the mud and the speed boost and the ramps. Like, every part of this track just screams fun, and I've always loved it. I hope that one day, whether it's Mario Kart 10 or 11 or whatever the next one's gonna be, please bring back Toad's Factory. I will be so happy. It is by far my favorite track in the game, and yes, I mean that, even more than some other ones, which we'll get to later. But Toad's Factory is phenomenal. Love it. Easy S tier on this list. So now we have Mario Circuit. We have Luigi and Mario Circuit in one game. That's crazy. But yeah, I think Mario Circuit is pretty similar to Luigi Circuit. There's nothing really that interesting. It does look more appealing to me than Luigi Circuit, but the overall track layout just doesn't really speak to me that much. It's still on the basic side. I love seeing Peach's Castle in the background. I know lots of Mario Circuits have that feature. This one does as well. There's that one forest area with the Goombas, I believe. That's a cool section. But other than that, it's still a basic layout for me. So probably a solid C, maybe C+. I think it is better than the Luigi Circuit, but not by a whole lot. But it looks more colorful. It's a more interesting setting, I believe. And it has more to offer. Like, there's more interesting track design, but not quite enough to put it in B tier. So, again, these aren't bad tracks, but these two circuit tracks are definitely, like, maybe the worst ones in the game in terms of, how interesting they are, but they're still okay. So we'll give Mario Circuit the same as Luigi Circuit, which is a very solid C tier. S tier track number 2 is incoming, ladies and gentlemen. We have the one and only, the iconic Coconut Mall. And yes, you've just been Coconut Mall because you got the song playing in the background, so you're welcome. I just Coconut Malled all of your asses. But anyway, like, what else can I say about Coconut Mall? Like, it is an iconic track in like Mario Kart's entire history. Like, if you were to rank every single iconic track from like the entire Mario Kart franchise, this track would be up there in like the top 5, maybe top 10. But yeah, it's a freaking shopping mall. Like, how is that not cool to you? Like, you're driving through an entire shopping mall. The music is fantastic. You're driving up, you're going up freaking escalators. You're going through like little shopping kiosks and whatnot. And the final section, oh man, with the cars, I've always hated them. I will admit 8's version is better with the ones that spin around. But just seeing the Miis in the cars going back and forth, and if you're not paying attention, they can fuck you over. I've always loved that part. People rage at it, but I've always loved it. Oh man, I love that section. And the bit before that where you're going on that like super high ramp and you jump off like way down below. This track is just all kinds of creativity and awesome, and I love it. So, Coconut Mall, an iconic track, forever and always. Another easy S tier here. I'm not too sure about where I'm going to put this one right now. I gotta think about it for a second. But, DK Summit, I do love it. I'm not really a huge fan overall of snow-themed tracks in Mario Kart because a lot of them aren't great. Cough Cough, SNES, Cough Cough, Noah Lake, that sucks. But the modern ones have gotten better and better, I would say. Like GBA Snowland from Mario Kart 8, that's a good one. But DK Summit, I would say I love it. I think it might just barely be 8 tier, now that I think about it. This layout is so cool. It reminds me of Mount Wario, but less ambitious, I guess, because Mount Wario is a freaking journey. But this one is kind of a predecessor to it, and kind of a first look into how a downhill snow-themed Mario Kart track could look. And then we got Mount Wario, Mario Kart 8. But this one, I would say it's pretty damn cool. I put it above Mushroom Gorge, personally. It's got a great song, once again. I love the opening part where you blast out of the DK barrel like DK Mountain. You're driving down the snow, as I just said. You're going across that one section with the snow ramps. Yeah, it is definitely one of the more better snow-themed tracks in Mario Kart, and I adore it, and it's fantastic. So, DK Summit, not quite S tier, but definitely an A tier. This one I'm so torn on between A and S. We have Wario's Gold Mine. You guys know I love roller coasters. This whole entire track is basically a roller coaster. You're going down like a entire minecart area, and there's a lot of twists and turns and jumping and just straight up fun. I will say the 8 version has the honor of, you know, being more tight in terms of, like, not being too slippery. And the minecarts, you can now trick off of them. I never had an issue with the minecarts in this track. I know some people did, but I didn't really find myself hitting them that often, so I guess it's more of a personal thing, but I didn't really hate them. I know some people did, though. But just the track layout, man, like, the music is great. Again, it's a freaking roller coaster. Like, if you took, like, one of those wooden roller coasters from theme parks and put it into Mario Kart, this track is it. Like, it's bumpy, it's fun, it's chaotic, the song really helps it sound more fun, and I adore it to death. I think it just, like, because here's the thing, I gotta compare it to the tracks I do have in S tier, and it's not quite there for me, but it's definitely high A tier. I think it's probably the champion now of A tier, because this track freaking rules. I love it. 8's is better, but we're not ranking that, obviously, but the original still holds up really well, and I adore it. What a great roller coaster track. So, Wario's Gold Mine, very high A+. Looky here, another circuit track. This one, though, is Daisy Circuit, which I gotta admit, I kind of like this one. It's better than Mario and Luigi Circuit for sure, but yeah, you know what? I think it might be B tier. I think it might be. It's probably low B tier, but this one's got a great song. I love the orange sky. It really helps it, you know, look more Daisy themed because it is Daisy Circuit. I adore the statues of Daisy and Luigi around the track, and there's the baby ones too. That's cool. It is, again, on the basic side like the other circuit tracks are, but I think the overall vibes of it and the overall, like, structure of the track is more interesting than Luigi and Mario Circuit, but not quite enough to, like, really boost it into the likes of A and S tier. But this track is solid. I know some probably don't find it that cool, but I think it's quite alright, and I enjoy it for what it is. So, Daisy Circuit, very solid one. Gonna go in a low B, maybe B- tier. S tier alert once again, ladies and gentlemen. We have the one and only Koopa Cape. People love this track to death, and I am one of those people. This track is amazing. Water theme levels are very hit or miss these days, I would say, but this one is definitely one of the better ones I've ever played, and I adore it. It's not quite into Coconut Mall's level, but it's definitely still S tier. But, yeah, driving through the freaking tube underwater was always cool. The other versions kind of ruined it too, because 7's took out the fun of it, and then 8 added, or no, I think they both took out, like, certain parts of it, right? Like, they took out the electrical rods that shock you in the water, and the running water that, like, goes across and make you go quicker. Like, I do appreciate 8's and 7's versions, but this one is, like, the best version for sure. I've always loved the section where you go on that, like, water slide where the shell is, and you go down to the pipe. That's so much fun. And the song is a banger. Oh, man, what a start, man. And the last section, too, where you got that ramp plus the running water. Phenomenal track. Like, this is for sure, similar to how DK Summit is one of the better snow tracks, this is one of the better water-themed tracks I've ever played in my entire life in Mario Kart. So, Koopa Cape, once again, iconic, similar to Coconut Mall, and it's gonna get an easy S tier for me. Well, guys, once again, we have an S tier track. I love Maple Treeway so freaking much. From the music, to the layout, to the structure of the course, to the vibes, it is like the definition of a chill Mario Kart track. It is so much fun to race on. Like, every part of the track is fun. I love the barrel you blast out of. You're driving along the trees at one point. You got the, as NB would call it, the, jack-off bridge. But yeah, like, I love Fall Time. This track really does symbolize that. So, I don't think it quite tops Koopa Cape, but, like, these are so hard to rank now. Like, every one of these S-tier tracks can be interchanged based on personal preference. Like, I think Toast Factory to me is the most interesting track in this bunch, but all of these tracks are iconic to me and some of the best Mario Kart tracks of all time. Like, not just Mario Kart Wii, but in all of Mario Kart. Like, all these tracks just really hit all the right notes for me. And Maple Treeway is one of those tracks for sure. Like, again, just a really fun track. Love the vibes here. Love the layout. Love the song so much. So, yet again, another easy S tier for me. This one might be the most underrated track in the game. I'm not sure, but we have Grumble Volcano. It's definitely not S tier, but you know what? I'm gonna go A tier for this. I think it is a very fun lava-themed track. I've always adored the music, the layout. The fireballs can be kind of annoying at times, but I never really had a problem with them. I love, too, how the track crumbles as you race on it. Like, at the start, like, the whole entire track is there. And then as you keep racing on it, like, by lap 3, a lot of the platforms have now sucked into the lava, and there's less track to race on. So that's kind of cool. And I love, too, how the volcano will shoot, like, little fireballs at the track and then spawn little lava puddles. So this track, to me, has some great personality, and I adore it. I'm not really that into the lava theme for some tracks, because some are kind of, they don't go as far as they could with the concept, but this one I think definitely does. Like, it's not the most mind-blowing track out there, but what's there is a lot of fun to race on and admire, so might be a hot take, literally, hot take, but Grumble Volcano to me is a very low A tier. So we go from underrated to conflicted. I am very back and forth in this one. We have Dry Ruins. I think desert is the one theme that is like the most hit or miss for me, because a lot of the desert themed tracks in Mario Kart I don't like. Like, some just feel annoying to race on, and some feel okay at best. This one I think is one of the better ones for sure, but I don't think it's a great track still. What's there is fun. You got like pokies roaming around, you got the pyramid you race through with the pillars that fall down, that last section with the sand piles that get that get bigger and bigger as you race on and on. But I don't know, I feel like desert themed tracks don't really go that far with the theming and the overall track layout, and this one definitely does feel kinda, I don't want to say half-baked, but there could be more there, if that makes sense. Like, there could be more than what there is, but what's there is okay at best. So, for me, I think it's just barely a B tier, but, you know what, yeah, I'd put it probably high B tier, because I do think it is better than Moo Moo Meadows and Daisy Circuit, but, yeah, I don't know, I'm very kind of back and forth in this one. Like, I just don't find myself really liking desert tracks that much. But this one is pretty solid, I will admit. It's got a good song, and it's a good one. So we'll give this one a very solid B tier. I know my good friend Hero is watching this right now, and she is salivating at the mouth of where I'm going to put this. I will say, Hero, I'm sorry, I can't put it in S tier, but it is for sure going to be A tier for me. I love Moonview Highway. Like, Toad's Turnpike is alright. This one feels a lot better. Like, the song is banning. The cars are pretty quick in this one. Like, that one section where you're in the downtown area, the cars come flying over the corner, and they can surprise you. And yeah, it's a really great highway track. I love the little toll sections where you have to drive through the gates, like you're paying the toll when you're not really paying the toll. That's cool. I love the moon in the background too. This one just feels fun to race on, like, all the time. I love it. And, again, those cars can be, like, your worst enemy. If you are not paying attention, they will, like, fly around the corner in that downtown section and scare the shit out of you. And they will flatten you, and that can fuck you up. Yeah, I think there are better city tracks out there. Cough, cough, Mushroom City from Double Dash. But this one is fantastic, and I love it. I don't... Actually, you know what? Nah, it's gonna be a low A tier for me, but it's for sure an A tier track at the very least. So, yeah, you're welcome, Hero, if you're watching this. But Moonview Highway, very low A tier, but it is a really good track. So if you've played both of these next tracks, you can probably guess where I'm putting these. But let's go one by one. So Bowser Castle, I will say right now, a lot of you might agree with this, a lot of you might not. I don't know, but I think that this Bowser Castle is far and away the best Bowser Castle in any Mario Kart game. I believe that. This Bowser Castle feels like just an absolute blast to race on every single time I race on it. Like, the giant Bowser statue where you have to go across the half pipes, that is such a fun section beyond belief. The layout here is just so cool. Like, I think this one right here is probably the most Bowser feeling Bowser Castle of any Bowser Castle track in Mario Kart. Yeah, that made sense. But you guys get what I mean, hopefully. Like this entire track just screams Bowser all the way through. Like, you know, you got your giant Bowser statue, you got your lava geysers at the end. Like, I love it. Easy S tier. I would say it's above Maple Treeway and Koopa Cape, but not quite above Coconut Mall. But it's right there. Like, right in the middle of S tier. But yeah, best Bowser Castle in the entire series. Nothing tops it. I would say maybe, 8 comes kind of close. And also the, SNES Bowser Castle remake that was in the DLC is, great as well. But I don't see any Bowser Castle topping this. Unless they go all out for Mario Kart 9 or 10 or whatever it's going to be called. But for right now, the champion of every Bowser Castle and every Mario Kart is far and away the Wii Bowser Castle. So, easy S tier. And as always, we end on Rainbow Road. I gotta say, 7's is my favorite. You guys probably know by now. But Wii Rainbow Road is like maybe top 3 at the very least. I love Wii Rainbow Road. I love the music, the layout, every part about this track is so cool. Including the part where you drive off the track and you're like a meteor plummeting to Earth. That's so cool. Yeah, it's an S tier. You guys know this. Like, I think if you hate Mario Kart Wii even if you do, even if you hate Mario Kart Wii, you can't deny how good this track is. Like, it is by far one of the best Rainbow Roads of all time. It's not, again, it's not quite up to 7's level. That's probably my favorite so far. But this one is still top 3. You know what? It might be above Bowser. Actually, you know what? Nah, we're gonna put it there. I think, it's like neck and neck for me between Bowser and Rainbow Road. But I think Bowser, for me, is definitely the better track. But Rainbow Road, man, it is, like, it is so good. I love the layout. It's very challenging, too. It is a very challenging track, and in a good way. It's not really that frustrating. Like, you will get good once you play it enough times. Trust me. Like, it's still a challenging track, but it's fun. Like, once you master the turns and, like, the track layout and the ramps and whatnot, like, this track will be cool for you. It'll be a great one to race on every time you go on it. So, yeah, Rainbow Road, Wii, another easy S tier, and with that, we are done with this list. Well, guys, yet again, like Mario Kart DS, I think, we have none that are in F tier. Or, no, was it Mario Kart? I don't remember, but, yeah, we have none in D or F tier. Like, that says a lot about how great the tracks in Mario Kart Wii are. Like, a lot of them are pretty damn good. They're not all great. Like, the ones in B and C are kind of hit or miss for some people, but the ones in A and S, to me, are some of the best tracks in all Mario Kart. You got freaking Maple Treeway, Koopa Cape, Coconut Mall, Toad's Factory, Wario's Gold Mine. They're all fantastic tracks, and I love every single one of them. So, hope you all enjoyed watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are and what you would change. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.